it compromises everyone. Everyone needs to take stock in this. I had Dr. Ben Lynch on the podcast ages ago, and he said one of his friends said more people spend years planning their wedding than they will plan to have a child and optimize their health. And
It's
it's
crazy,
true.
right? It's great.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful way to think about it. I like Dr. Lynch. But that's a wonderful thought that, I mean, because I say the same thing. It's like, we should be planning and preparing when we're having when we get married, we should start, or even before, we should start being proactive about prenatal care and being ready to get pregnant when the time comes. And that's exactly what ends up happening is they spend more time, a year more working on their wedding than they ever do thinking about getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just is a societal thing, right? Like, you know that most people aren't born with fertility issues. It's decades of not knowing how to take care of their body. They might not have any warning signs, and all of a sudden they can't get pregnant. That was us, right? Very unexplained infertility, very silent autoimmune issue. I was not a classic case. But in your practice, and this is what I get is there's so much education out there now. It's almost overwhelming and them not knowing exactly what to do. But they're using their intuition and they're like, that feels right. It feels good that I can do something about improving my chances. And then they start talking to us, but they're very much stuck in that mindset of like, well, my doctor said, or my test results said, or my 10 rounds of IVF didn't work. So why will it ever work if IVF didn't work? What's your take on that with the whole white coat syndrome, and how can people really step into their empowerment and shift that for them? Because I think that's the game changer.
Yeah, I think we need to trust ourselves and trust our intuition much more than we do. We ignore it, we push it down. We don't pay attention to it in the same way we should. And look, there's a reason why there's something called woman's intuition or female intuition. It wasn't just created by accident. That statement didn't come out of nowhere. There's a reason why. It's because if we listen to our gut, what does our gut say? We will know the right answer, the right path, but we're scared of listening to ourselves because maybe it didn't work out before, or maybe you've been taught like, well, if I listen to my gut, that means I'm going against what the doctor said, but I've been told, we got to listen to the doctor. And so I've got to do what they say. I actually just had this conversation this morning. There was a woman in my program who had gone through, she started stimulation for her potential retrieval because the doctor said she should. And, when I looked at it, I said, I wouldn't have gone into a cycle this cycle. Like, your numbers didn't look right. Everything didn't look right. And she goes, yeah, I thought about that, but I didn't want to say anything to the doctor. I was like, it's okay. They're not gods. It's okay to let them know that this doesn't sit right. Like, let's try next cycle. So I think we need to verbalize our feelings a little bit more. We need to trust what we're feeling and not suppress it. We need to listen to ourselves. And I think we often make decisions emotionally. Like, you're in this moment, this doctor said this, oh, I feel rushed, and oh, okay, I'll do it. And versus saying, well, can I have a couple of hours, or can I have an hour to think about this? Can I make a phone call? Can I let you know in a couple of hours, whatever it might be? And then you take some time and you think about it, and you maybe do a little meditation to think about what feels right. You talk to your partner. If you're working with a coach like you and me, maybe you reach out to them to get their opinion. And then you can make an informed, calm decision that works best for you. And I think often that's really one of the bigger concerns, where we're not trusting ourselves. We don't want to disappoint the doctor. Well, if I say no to the doctor now, is he going to work with me in the future? They want to work with you in the future. Don't worry about it.
We'll take your money.
They'll take your money.